Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today I have a review for you. Netflix's The Haunting of Bly Manor. With Halloween just days away, if you're looking for something spooky to watch, maybe you're thinking to yourself, maybe I'll give this Haunting of Bly Manor on Netflix a try. I heard a lot of things about it, but should you watch this show? I'll tell you. The Haunting of Bly Manor. It's the second haunting show in a series by Mike Flanagan for Netflix. The first one was Haunting of Hill House, which was very good. It was very well received. Haunting of Bly Manor, however, not so good. And it's a shame because some of the performances in this series were really, really outstanding. The two children in the show, Flora, who's played by Emily B. Smith, and Miles, who is played by Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, they steal the show. They did a really phenomenal job, and everything that was right about this show stemmed from them and a few other actors. In particular, Tanaya Miller, who played Miss Gross. She was the sort of the house keeper, and not really a housekeeper, but she managed the estate. It's the estates in Britain or in the UK. She was absolutely phenomenal. And Rahul Kohli, from a lot of people probably know from iZombie, he played Owen in the show, and he was fantastic also. The one part that the one character that I really disliked the most was the main character, played by Victoria Pedretti, who is also in the Netflix series You, at least in the most recent season. And she was also in Haunting of Hill House, but she really didn't have that big of a role in that one. She had a much larger role in this one, and I don't know what they decided to do with her, but you can tell that this one takes place in the 1980s, and so they had her dressing in 1980s clothes, like big mama pants and like the elastic waistband, and they had her talking in a baby voice the entire time, and her acting was very wooden. It was like very. She'd walk into a room and she would say the line, and you'd be like, "Is that you couldn't have done a little bit better than that?" It was acting is like me coming in and saying, "What are you doing?" That's what it was like, and so I had a hard time with that character. Everybody else really was phenomenal, and they are what made me continue to want to watch the show. I wanted to find out what happened. It is a very slow and very plodding series. It's 9 episodes, and it was kind of a chore to get through. I'm not going to lie, especially like the last maybe 2 to 3 episodes. Even the last episode, it's like at one point I was sitting there watching it, and it was the first episode that we were watching of that night, and when it was over, I was like, "How many episodes did we watch?" And my wife said 1, and I said 1. It felt like we watched 2. That's how long it just felt like it was. We watched it for 2 hours, but it was only an hour, and it was because everything is so drawn out and everything is so slow, and I kind of understand that they're trying to go for a gothic type of story feel, but holy smokes, just there was so much needless information. Not even information, there was so much needless, I don't know, just there was so much that could have been cut down, or like there was one scene where they were talking about the main ghost in this house, the house in the manor. The premise of the story is that there's the two children in the house where their parents have passed, and so their uncle Henry, who's played by Henry Thomas, he brings in an au pair to be with the kids, And the first au pair dies tragically, so they bring in the second au pair, and that's the one that Miss Pedretti plays. And so there are ghosts inhabiting this manor, and you don't know anything about them. You really don't hardly even see them. And it's not up until the 8th episode where they sort of give you a background as to how all these ghosts came to be in the manor. And that episode, it was just so plodding and so drawn out, where they were, it was the narrator, she's telling the story of this woman who is the main ghost in this house, and how she's the instigator for all these other ghosts, and who you don't ever see these other ghosts for some reason. You see a little hint of one over here in one scene, and then you don't see him again ever, and then you see the one ghost in the attic, and you don't really see her again ever. They don't do anything. They're not scary. They don't add any scare value to the show. But yeah, by the time that 8th episode was over, I was just like, oh, we got one more left. Holy cow! I just want this thing to be over. And to make matters worse, like the ending of episode 7, something happens, and you're like, okay, what's going to happen next? And then the entire episode 8 goes into this main ghost's backstory, and that episode ends up ending the exact same way as episode 7, where you don't find, it doesn't progress anything as far as the main storyline. All it does is show all this backstory, which it really wasn't even interesting. So episode 9 starts off with resolving what happened at the end of episode 7, and that's resolved in the first couple minutes, and then the rest of the episode was just like oh man, I don't know. If there's going to be a third one, they really need to up the ante on it, because this Haunting of Bly Manor was not that great, aside from the incredible acting of the kids and a couple of the other actors that I named. They were phenomenal, and they are the only reason to, as far as I'm concerned, to watch this show. And it's a shame that probably not as many people are going to watch it because of this. It's such a slow and boring series. So yeah, so that's it. If you like gothic novels that really don't go anywhere and really, just, I guess, are atmospheric, then maybe you'll like Bly Manor. I did not, and neither did my wife or my daughter. None of us really cared for it. So yeah, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully I have a better one for you next time. Until then, take care and have a good day.